One of the things that we did early on is just start praying, Lord, where do you want us to serve? Where do you want Jim to serve? So Jim joined right on the cusp of 9/11, September 11th happening, the terrorist attacks. And we started at that point knowing we don't know what the future is going to hold, but we want to support our country and support his call and his passion for ministry within the military.
So we had been married for about 10 years when God was like, it's time. I have something else for you and it's going to be different. And it was scary, but it was exciting. And he spoke distinctly to both of our hearts about exactly the same thing. And so when we both arrived at the same conclusion, we knew it was definitely a God thing, because that doesn't ever happen. The amazing thing about being a chaplain's wife versus being a pastor's wife is used to be when I would tell people, oh, I'm a pastor's wife, it's like, oh, okay. And like everyone got really quiet and you went from being like this fun part of the party to now no one's talking to you. But now when people are like, oh, so what does your husband do? He's a chaplain. Oh, we love chaplains. I'm like, see, now that's a much different response. And you go from being like a pariah to being a welcomed part of the community. And it opens up so many different doors and opportunities.
As he got a clear call to ministry, I really tried to think through how is this going to work with the deployments and with us moving. So whenever there's times apart as a couple, even whenever my kids have to have time apart from Dad, that it reminds me that we're doing this for a higher calling. They're part of this ministry too, and we're all called to make sacrifices, and tell my kids all the time that we're letting Daddy go to deploy in order for another mommy or daddy to come home. Whenever he is not deployed, whenever he comes home from work, he is fully invested in the family, and we have just a great family time.
Our youngest was only 2 at the time, so she was happy to be wherever mommy and daddy were. Our oldest is extremely attached to my mom, and for only being 4 years old, she was very much a California girl and knew it and was very proud of it. And so when we told her we were going to move, she's like, but am I still going to be in California? She was very attached to our life and to the weather and to her way of life. When she realized she was leaving my mom, it was really hard for her and very hard for my mom. I am very attached to my family, like we're close. So it was harder for us to be separated. My husband's family isn't as tight, so it wasn't as big of a deal for them.
For me, it helped to come in with open hands of learning and growing. You'll find so many supportive people who want to invest in you, who want to encourage you, and who want to share their wisdom that they've gleaned from years in this lifestyle. And so for me to come in with an air of humility and teachability, to really understand the culture, because it is a different life than being a civilian. I think for me, finding those ways to learn and to grow in the early years helped to set me up in order to serve in areas where I'm passionate about now. So I have been able to do ministry within our unit, within our base that we're located at, and it has been great for me to really start at the local level, for me to start with our unit and what their needs are. I've been involved in family readiness groups. We have really enjoyed for me to be able to get involved with the spouses within our unit.
Finding my feet really came through the Spouses Club. It initiated me into the military world in that it explained things to me and helped me understand this very complicated base. But once I saw the value in that group, I started investing in it, and I started volunteering, because now I'm the vice president of the Spouses Club. Because I really invested in this, because it was something I believe in, because I saw how much it helped me and how much the women in that organization were like, let me teach you. Let me show you how you can be an asset here. And I ate it up. I loved it. Some of the women I've met and brought into the Spouses Club are now a part of our chapel service. So I absolutely love my life. I love all of the different avenues of ministry that are open to me.
For us, we've been able to have a sphere of influence and connect with people of a lot of different faith backgrounds, a lot of different connections that we wouldn't have if we were in local church ministry. We've also seen God's faithfulness through the trials of military life, and for us, that's something that I wouldn't trade.